Hey y'all, again, this is Ryan Jenkins from the Jinx Book Club, and again, I'm here to do another book talk. I just did book talk number 3. Now I'm about to do number 4. And number 4, I'll admit, it took me, usually when I have a Renee Watson book, I go through it like it's nothing. I've read all of her books. She has one, I can't remember the title of it, that I still need to read. But this is her latest book that she wrote in compilation with Aline Hagan. I don't know how I am going to incorporate this with roses, but I would really like to. Some of the poetry that was written in this book was awesome. Pretty much you have the main characters, Chelsea and Jasmine. Jasmine is black, heavy set, and she's very insecure about her weight, but she also has a confidence that she's not afraid to speak her mind and tell people. Matter of fact, Chelsea, who is her best friend, there's a point in the book where they decide they were going to rock t-shirts to do a protest. Chelsea did not consider Jasmine's size, and that bothered Jasmine. Like, you see me all the time and you didn't buy a shirt that fits me. And Chelsea, of course, feels bad because I do believe I like Chelsea, but Chelsea don't know how to shut up. Chelsea is hard-headed. Chelsea is stubborn. Chelsea is definitely another version of Here I Am. I am woman, hear me roar. And she doesn't care whose feelings are hurt or what is said. She has to speak her point. Because I know there are plenty of times in the story when they're at the dinner table, Chelsea with her mom, Chelsea, her mom was like, stop, I don't want to hear it. I just want to have a quiet dinner. I don't want to hear it. So Chelsea has a good heart about her protest and standing up for herself. But at the same time, she sometimes steps on people's toes and she doesn't think about other people when she says things. So you have Jasmine and Chelsea. Jasmine is part of a theater club. And because the man, she wanted to do one character and the man wanted her to do the stereotypical black woman character. She wasn't having it. Chelsea was part of a poetry club where pretty much they read from what is considered the greats part of the canon, basically white old men. And she said, well, I can't read about these people and that people. So they end up forming themselves their own club. And they end up posting blogs. And I want to say the name of the blog was called Write Like a Girl. But they received some opposition because of this blog. And they feel a need to let it be known, women need rights. We shouldn't have to do what you think we should look like, what you think we should do because we're women, because we're black, because we're white. And we can go down the list. But on top of all this, you have Chelsea, who she has a crush on this boy named James. James is very cute, but it's obvious that James likes this other girl and actually is dating another girl named Meg, who's known for being stuck up. Matter of fact, they have some contention in the book, but at the same time, he still hangs out with Chelsea. I wouldn't say take her on dates, but he goes out with her. And, Chelsea finally gets to a point where she's like, you got to make a decision, because either you want her or you want me, but you're not going to go back and forth between the both of us. Then you have Jasmine, who father was given his cancer return, and they were told there was nothing that he can do, and that he's dying. So she's dealing with that. And matter of fact, they got to a point, it's Chelsea, Jasmine, Isaac, and I want to say Nadine, and they all hang together, and they are what the dad calls art activists, where they go out and they look at art, and because of art they write poetry, they do paintings, speaking a message and how they want to help change the world. But at the same time, Jasmine is struggling because her father is dying, and she has a younger brother who's maybe like elementary age, and she's like, he shouldn't have to grow up and deal with this. So she's dealing with that on top of dealing with the club. And then Isaac, who is really her best friend, you can tell something is going to happen between the two. It's just a matter of when and how they're going to speak up. And the way it happens is awesome. It's not a question. It's obvious. And even the group recognizes, Isaac, you have a thing for Jasmine, and Jasmine, you have a thing for Isaac. But Jasmine questioned whether Isaac really liked her at first, because she's overweight. her mom gets on her about her weight and saying how she need to go to the doctor and make sure nothing's wrong with her and that she's healthy, she's not obese. It was crazy. So I'll admit it took me longer to read this book. And even though it was a page turner, it was very good. It was a lot to consume. Because I'll admit there were times Chelsea got on my nerves. And I'm like, Chelsea, you were wrong for that. Like one time they got in trouble with the principal. I'm not going to tell you what. But she was wrong. Me being a teacher, you just can't bust up at the school and sell what you want and or put flyers wherever you want. You have to get approval for that. And they didn't do that. They believed in we have something to say and we're going to say it. And the reality is there's a way you can protest, but there's sometimes you do have to follow the rules or there's going to be consequences. There's sometimes where you have to be willing to break the rules and you have to be willing to deal with those consequences. That's what happened in our civil rights movement. But this is definitely a book that if you have a girls group or you have a single gender class, I would strongly recommend that you read this with them. RENEE Watson, I have not read anything by Ellen Hagen, but this is making me want to read stuff by her. But RENEE Watson is one of my top YA authors, and I strongly recommend that you read her work. And happy reading.